What are we here for, Shane?
We are here to talk about what, Rahul Dravid has said, and truth be told, he was talking a lot
But
about...
you've already spoken about what he said, that KL Rahul is
that's
not
part
going to
of
be available for the first 2 games.
Yes, that was part of this thing, because again, it leads to a larger problem which we've been talking about a lot, the number 4, number 5 slot, and he was asked about that. He said that, look, truth be told, we'll go over his quotes, but even if you take into account what it is he said, there's been a lot of, in his words, experimentation, even if some of it was necessary.
He said it is, I think, the most commonly used word in Indian cricket discussions for the last 8-10 months, I'm guessing.
Maybe longer. I mean, there was a lot of experimentation even last year.
That was true. Yeah. So we had a different coach and a different captain at the time. And experimentation continued. But surely Rahul Dravid cannot be answering about those experimentations, right? He can only talk about the experimentations happening under his watch. And I think the entire word experimentation came to be abused a bit from this West Indies series onward.
True.
It wasn't so much before that. But in the West Indies series, there were a lot of experiments, though the team management at the time had come and explained why, because that gave us a bit of an insight that Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul not being fit, that's why they are experimenting. But today, before the team embarks on another very important tournament, the Asia Cup, another question was asked to Rahul Dravid. We haven't heard for Rahul Dravid in some time now. We heard him last in the West Indies series. The post-team selection press conference was addressed by the chairman of selector and the captain in Rohit Sharma. So we haven't heard from Rahul Dravid. So the experimentation question was asked of him in West Indies. The experimentation question was asked of Rohit Sharma in the press conference, where he explained in his own Bombaya style, "Look, मैं बताता हूँ क्या होता है, क्या experiment है." And today Rahul Dravid kind of elaborated on experimentation, why they needed to do that. What has he said?
So he said that the word experimentation gets thrown around a lot, but there is a reason for us trying out certain things, just as there was for the number 4 and 5 spots. Now that part is key, because again, I think in recent times, if you go over the amount of people they've tried there, and of course that was true for the West Indies tour especially, because I think at that point they kind of knew that fitness for one or both of KL and Shreyas would be touch and go. And that's how it's proved, because now KL's out for the first 2 games.
So he's saying there is a reason that we are doing the experimentation. It's not that we were all science students and we loved our time in the chemistry lab, that we enjoy doing experimentation. So there's a reason behind that. And he's giving us a clue that a lot of it happened around the number 4 and number 5 spot, because this is exactly where Rohit Sharma had spoken of, where he tried to explain. He said, batting order experimentation only happens at 4, 5, 6, something like that. Not even 6 actually, 4, 5, because he said, opener, Rohit Sharma is going to open. Number 3, Virat Kohli is going to bat, right? And number 6, Hardik Pandya. Number 7, Jadeja. So it's only 4 and 5 which is effectively left. So वहाँ पे अगर youngsters को we push them around, it's okay, because Rohit pointed out, I also got pushed around, Virat also got pushed around various places. But Rahul has actually not said that, though he's spoken about 4 and 5, but he goes on to explain why the experimentation was needed, as he's pointing out. So what's he saying?
In fact, for this particular thing, he said that, look, 18 or 19 months ago, if you had to ask me who are going to be those candidates for these positions, I would have given you 3 names. I would have said KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant.
Okay, stop there. You agree with him?
KL seems a bit doubtful, but Shreyas and Rishabh I can believe, because Iyer has kind of been in and around that spot. Same with Rishabh, they've tried him there too previously.
I agree with him. I'll tell you why, because I remember having these discussions, let's say 18, 19 months ago, and the big debate was, how do you fit in a KL Rahul? Because at that time you had a Rishabh Pant, who was a wicketkeeper batter, and then you had a Shreyas Iyer, who was one of your standout performers in all format. So Shreyas was pretty much done.
And I'll add a Shikhar Dhawan also. 18, 19 months ago, Dhawan was your
first.
Yeah,
but I'm just looking at number 3 or 4 or 5 spot, right? So just focusing on 4 and 5. So he's saying, if you had asked me the 3 names in that position, so I'm only focusing on that. So I agree, 18, 19 months ago, what Rahul Dravid is saying, these were the 3 names that were there. In fact, I remember the discussion was that how do you fit in a KL Rahul And there were a lot of people that thought that maybe Rishabh could be that guy that goes out, especially in T20 cricket, because his numbers weren't great. So look at a KL Rahul, if he cannot open, and Shreyas had made that position his own, either 4 or 5 in T20 as well as ODI. So Rishabh, I think, was the number one contender because his one-day numbers are very good. So don't confuse his T20 numbers with one-day number. One-day numbers are good. So he was pretty much there. And you also wanted to play KL Rahul because of, you know, how he had done at that number 5 spot. So you were in a quandary. I remember the debate was around, how do you fit Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer? So it was an embarrassment of riches for the Indian team. So on that front, I think Rahul Dravid is bang on, where he says 18-19 months ago, they were not keen on experimentation. They pretty much knew that these are the 3 guys, out of which 2 will be 4 and 5. What went wrong then?
Yeah, and he says that unfortunately all of them got injured in the space of 2 months. What are the odds of that happening?
Again, I have to agree. It is a rare occasion. Yes, injuries are part and parcel of the game. But imagine from that situation where you had 3 contenders for 2 spots, you suddenly have 0 contenders for 2 spots because, you know, call it coincidence, call it what you might. All 3 of them get injured at the same time. Just a few months ago, before the World Cup, by few I mean about 8-9 months ago, before the World Cup, and you don't know. That's where the, you know, situation gets worse. All hell breaks loose.
Yeah, and I think Pant was the most freakish in that regard, because with KL and Shreyas, they've had a few issues with injuries in the past, but Pant was an accident. How do you account for something like that? You can't. And with KL and Shreyas, unfortunately, they've also had issues wherein it kind of tends to be elongated. So with Shreyas, you remember he did play some series, then he got injured just before Australia, came back for the Australia series, then bigger layoff. KL also 2022, bad injury makes him miss South Africa. It was a sports hernia, gets surgery for that, catches COVID, so it's further delayed. But again, you can't account for those things. It's just not possible.
The only question worth asking right now, and if I'm a viewer, I would want to know that, okay, 18-19 months ago, I agree with most things. Very unfortunate, all 3. And as he says, what are the chances of, you know, that happening? 3 get injured. But my point is now 8-9 months. Was that not enough time for them to experiment? Could they not have zeroed in on who the backup guys are? Where do you think it all went wrong? Or to give them again, the team management, the benefit of the doubt, or did they think that, okay, injuries has happened, but you know, World Cup is so far ahead, we are 9 months away, surely they'll be fit before that, but it didn't quite play out to plan, so that they are left in that situation. What was the Indian team doing in the interim is what I want to know, in that 8-9 month period when all these injuries started surfacing.
See, I think they did have 2 other backup options, even if you eliminate all 3 of them. I think for 4 they were very keen with Sky. Suryakumar Yadav was definitely that one person they wanted to.
Do we have a data on who all did they try?
We do actually.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
If we look at it here,
what did he say?
So that's what he said. He further elaborated. He said that, look, in that situation where you had 3 guys who were dead certain injured, we had to try out a few options and give game time to a number of players. The good thing now is that 2 of them, in Rahul and Shreyas, are back with the team.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll get back to it. But let's stick to that. He says we had to try a few things, and that takes me back to the question that I asked you. What were they doing? Who all did they try? Let's take a look. And what happened to them?
Who all did they try? Now, that's 12 players.
That's like a squad in its own right.
Yeah,
This
could
be
squad of number 4s.
I know that there are no bowlers or wicket keepers, or they could be wicket keepers, but it's not broken into fast bowlers, spinners, batters, and so on and so forth. But the number of names here is a team in itself, right?
So if you go, and of course, let's take Shreyas KL, were playing a lot of games.
So these are India's number 4 and number 5 batters that they've tried. What is the period? You haven't told me the period.
So period here is from July 2022, which is over a year at this point, and this is across white ball. So we've taken T20s as well as ODIs.
Okay.
And there's a lot less experimentation.
So I think that's a very important bit missing here, that we have looked at India's number 4 and 5 in the last 1 year. This is in the last 1 year, and this is both T20Is and ODIs. And the reason we've put T20Is and ODIs together, because there are not too many ODIs, as you know, that teams have been playing. There are not too many bilateral ODI series. A lot of that is white ball cricket in form of T20 cricket. So we put both, and truth be told, we keep talking about different formats, but the team tends to mix it. So for example, if Shreyas was playing, he would have played, that position in T20Is
correct.
as well as in ODI. If Rishabh Pant was fit, he would have played it in T20Is as well as ODI. So it's pretty much the same, which is why I agree with Rahul Dravid where he says that, listen, we were ready, and suddenly there's a situation, all three have gotten injured, so you got to feel for them. But this injury happened not today, it happened 8-9 months ago for all of them. So why did the team not try and fix? So this is what the team did, okay?
Yeah.
So these are the number 4 and number 5 batters that they were trying at the time. We've also got the names of Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. But apart from that, if I was to take them out, then 9 other options I see which the Indian team did try. So you tried a Deepak Hooda, you tried a Suryakumar Yadav, you tried a Ishan Kishan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, because a lot of people say that, oh, if Ishan is going to come into the team, then let Rohit bat number 3, let Virat bat number 4, let Ishan open. Here's a reminder that he has batted 4 or 5 positions.
And in fact, I'll add, Kishan in a lot of these series, like last year, in many ODI series, was batting at number 4.
There you go. So don't be surprised if you see Ishan Kishan come out and bat at number 4 in that first game versus Pakistan, because now it's confirmed that there is no KL Rahul in that game. Okay, so they've tried a Deepak Hooda, Suryakumar Yadav. They've tried, these are the ones that got injured. Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya has been tried there. Akshar Patel, this is a West Indies series recently. There's Sanju Samson.
Jadeja was also in the West Indies series, that one ODI where Rohit batted at 7, the first ODI.
Yes.
And Kohli didn't bat at all, he batted at 4.
But I remember Jadeja before that also coming at number 4, maybe not in
Asia Cup last year. He came as a floater against Pakistan.
There you go. Dinesh Karthik. Tilak Verma now recently has also been tried. So to answer that question which I had asked Shane, that what was the Indian team doing if these 3 got injured 9 months ago? Agreed, unfortunate, I repeat, unfortunate, all of them got injured, but you had plenty of time to fix that. But they did try to fix that.
They did.
Unfortunately, again, a lot of bad fortune in the Indian team. Everyone that they tried in white ball cricket, we're mixing T20, did not really come good in the long term. Deepak Hooda was given a chance, and truth be told, he did not capitalize on those opportunities he got. Suryakumar Yadav, the curious case of Suryakumar Yadav, outstanding in T20s. Don't know why it's not happening in ODI. So you can't fault the management for not trying him. So that's good. Ishan Kishan, good they've experimented, because now he's going to be your number 1 wicketkeeper for the first game. Yeah. Then the 2 players that are injured. Hardik Pandya they've tried, which could still be an option.
At number 4,
but then who do you bring
put lower down the order?
Yeah, because you don't have a finisher, so you need him. So can agree that if he's better suited to 6, because while you can look at somebody else for 4 and 5, 6 is that specialist position where you're not going to have too many options. Akshar Patel also they tried, but not a long time.
Yeah, 1 or 2 games.
But I don't know if it's going to work out or not. Sanju Samson.
He did get a long rope at 4 and 5 at various times, but
didn't set the stage on fire.
In ODIs 2022 he was okay.
Yeah, game here or there. That's what I'm saying. But maybe then they could have persisted with him. Maybe is that something that they faulted it?
Yeah, kind of, but then see, not entirely in their hands either, because you remember he got injured in the beginning of the year. So actually, when his form was going good in ODIs, and he was part of the squad for Australia, Sri Lanka, New Zealand also. The first one, I think it was Sri Lanka. There he got injured. They had to call up Jitesh Sharma as a backup. And then because at that point they were kind of scrambling, there was no Pant, so they put KL at 5. Because they're like, okay, he's batted well at 5, rather than give Jitesh a cap. Then Sanju, when he came back, unfortunately didn't set the stage on fire.
He could have been that solution.
Very
but
easily.
Right now, the chances that he got just leading up did not come up with outstanding performances.
True.
There's Jadeja that they've tried. Maybe they'll still go with him, but he was always going to be a floater never a guaranteed 4 or 5. Dinesh Karthik, you tried mostly in T20 cricket. You pushed him sometime higher up. Obviously, he's the team has looked beyond him. That's fine going forward. Tilak Verma, just a youngster. He's just new into the game. Though now they've taken him as a backup, so you never know if there's still a feeling that somebody is not 100% fit. And then there's Shreyas Iyer, who's again injured. So the question I asked you, that why were they not trying a lot of players when they knew 3 of them are injured, which was again unfortunate. The answer is they did try a lot of them, but the kind of answers that they were looking at, they did not get. It could have been sorted out had Deepak Hooda at that time only in T20 cricket kept giving you match-winning performances. You would have automatically brought him into ODI.
True.
In fact, he was playing ODI also.
And doing well. I remember he played in Zimbabwe and he was bowling a bit also
Yes,
during ODIs.
but again, as I said, sometimes you need outstanding performances.
Yeah, he didn't
could have
get
been
that.
that guy. Did not do it. Sky again. On those chances that he got, he could have grabbed it. And then today we want to be lamenting and saying, oh, what happened? Why is this one injured? Why is that one injured? Why is KL not fit? So that could have been the problem. So again, we've dug deep, taken out the last 1 year's data, and India did try a lot of 4 and 5 when they knew that Shreyas, KL and Rishabh Pant are injured. Okay, now I'll take you back to that slide because that was a very important point. And I think you need to read a lot between these lines. He says the good thing is that 2 of them, that's Rahul and Shreyas, are now back. So let's talk about Shreyas. It's pretty much confirmed that he's fully fit, ready to go. The only thing that we haven't seen with Shreyas right now is play an international game. That will be a true test, and I think Rahul Dravid also alluded to it in the press conference, where he says in terms of fitness, he's passed all possible tests. He's also shown you in match simulations and all the practice sessions that he can bat for long. So there is no injury residue left behind as far as Shreyas Iyer is concerned. He seems fully fit. The final bit of the puzzle will be when he plays an international match and you get to see him. But all signs, all systems are checked. Now you just have to see whether the shuttle can take off or not. But all systems are checked. You've got the tick mark. So that's good. But he also says the good thing is that 2 of them, Rahul and Shreyas, are now back. That's interesting. He says that in the same press conference where he's announced that Rahul's not available for the first 2 games. What does he know that we don't?
I mean, to be fair, he did say multiple times that he'll most likely be available for the matches after the group stage game. So, Super 4s.
How can he be so sure?
I have no idea.
Maybe the only thing that I can at the moment, kind of guess is the fact that the NCA trainers have told him, and he's going to be no expert in terms of
injury
recuperating
management.
from injury and management of that injury. I'm guessing he's been told that maybe let's say he needs another week to be fully fit and playing an international match. Though we've seen pictures of those practice sessions, he has been keeping, although gingerly, but he's been batting also for a long time in the nets as well as match. So he's pretty much there, but maybe he's 80% there, and the trainers may have thought that if you rush him a week in advance, what if that thing comes back and then again you have to wait for a couple of months? It's best to take it easy, give him another week to recuperate, and then have him available from that game. Which is going to be after the Nepal game. So the second India-Pakistan game effectively where he'll come back. That game will definitely happen. Whether, there is a chance.
So it could be the other second match also.
There is a chance of that game not happening. Basis on what? It is in the Super 4s, remember, India-Pakistan. For Super 4s, you have to go through from your group. For that, you need to win at least 1 game.
I mean, to be fair, I would expect either one of India or Pakistan to beat Nepal, in all fairness.
Well, I'm just saying, if.
I mean, to be fair, we all predicted a final last year.
If and but. So,
and that didn't happen.
Yeah, so if they get another game versus Pakistan.
Yeah, that would most likely be when he gets to return.
Yes, yes. That gets me thinking, because we're saying there are still about 9 games or whatever to go for the World Cup.
But there's less than that for him.
If you do not qualify for the Super 4s, you only get 2 games here, and then there's only the series against Australia.
3 games?
3 games. No. I mean, you would expect India to win probably both games, India-Pakistan as well as India-Nepal. At least
India-Nepal.
Yeah, and go through and play that second game. For that second game, of course, KL Rahul is going to be available. So, in Rahul Dravid's mind, and he definitely knows more than us since he's there. So, I think you can read a lot between these 2 lines where he says the good thing is that 2 of them are now back. He says that despite the fact that Rahul is not available for those first 2 games. So I think the team is pretty much certain that he will be playing that 3rd game. So he misses the Kandy leg and joins them directly for the Colombo
leg. Yeah.
Okay, all the best. But KL Rahul must be a special man.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they're basing their entire this thing, like that number 5, such a key position of someone who's not played in a few months. And to be fair, you can say the same about even Shreyas, unfortunately.
No, but Shreyas has shown you that he's fit and
That's
him
true.
back.
At least he's
You're
100%.
ready to
eh?
wait for KL. Even now, interestingly, your team will be announced before these two games are done.
Correct,
So
yeah.
KL does not play those two games, and him not playing those
Yeah.
two games, you'll be picking your 11 for the World Cup without seeing him even once.
Play a proper match.
Proper match. Yeah.
At least with Shreyas, you can say he'd have played one match, the Pakistan match.
Yeah. All
Very,
the
very
best.
interesting.
Let us know what you think about that whole situation in the comment section.
Yes.
And don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. For the moment, from Shane and I, bye bye, take care, Vanakkam.